ITeachGeek.com. Ask Brian.
That's me.
Welcome to ITeachGeek. I'm your host Rashad. I'm here to show you how to install Active Directory on 2003 server. So first things first, we want to make sure that our IP address is static. If your IP address is not static right now, you go ahead and make it static. If you don't know what IP address to put in here, for now we can just use the one that DHCP gave you in the first place when you first sign on to your computer. To check that out, we go to command prompt. You can go to run, put cmd. You want to put an IP config. You put /all. And it shows you all your IP information there, and you can just plug it in here to make it static. So just click on there and just plug all those numbers in there. All right. Once you have that done, we want to go back to the run command, and we want to go ahead and put in here DC promo. All right. The installation wizard should come up. Go ahead and press next. You want to go ahead and make this a new domain controller because we don't have any other domain controllers on my network right now. This is the only one. If you had another one, you have to go ahead and you can add it to the existing domain, or you can have it its own domain controller. So we're go ahead and make this one its own. Right now we're gonna make a new for us because we don't have any other Active Directories anywhere else on this network. So we go ahead and make a new for us. Right here, this is what you want to call your server. So let's see what we're gonna call our domain. It's a little different from your server name. This is actually your domain's name. So this, most people, like the big companies, this will have like their Microsoft.com or such and such. So we're just gonna call this. And don't worry, you can call it whatever you want. The A record is not pointing to your server, so you don't have to worry about it if you can call it the same thing something else is out there in the world. But to be safe, I always just put .loc for local. Press next again. This is default directory where it's going to put the Active Directory database. Leave this default. Press next again. We will install DNS right now. Later I'll show you how to configure it. I have tutorials on DNS. So right now let's go ahead and tell it to install it and keep it default. Go ahead and press next again. All right, make a password. Make sure you remember this password. You may need it one day. Go ahead and press next. Next. And it's installing. All right, you shouldn't get any errors through the installation. The only error you might get is for the disk for service pack 2. Make sure that you have your installation disk in the CD drive or your virtual disk, virtual ISO inside the virtual drive. Okay, let's go to finish. Now we must restart the computer. So let's restart. On administrative tools, we should have users and computers. There we go. go ahead and expand this. All right, these are organizational units. Any computer that connects to your domain, default goes here. And here are some users like administrator, DHCP administrators, all kinds of different users. Let's go ahead and test to make sure that everything's working fine. So we're going to connect the client machine to this domain controller. So first we want to go ahead and make a user so we can test the user to log in. So first let's go ahead and make an organization unit. We're going to call it, let's say, human resources. Press OK. And then in this organization unit, let's go ahead and make a user. So we're going to right click. We call this user Ask Brian. All right, now we're going to give him a login name. It doesn't have to be the same thing as his first and last name, but try to make it the same thing almost so you can be able to tell which user is which easily. So we go ahead and call it A Brian for his login. Let's go ahead and make him a password. Let's go ahead and unclick this. We want to make sure that he can't change his password or it never expires. Go to finish. Now we have a user. Now we're going to go to our client machine and see if we connect to the domain. Okay, we're back on the client machine. First thing we want to do is go to our network settings and network connections. So let's go to Start, Control Panel. All right, let's go ahead and right click, Properties. So for this DNS, we want to go ahead and put the IP address of our server. Let's go ahead and put a regular DNS that we was getting earlier to get to the outside world so we can still get internet. All right, let's press OK. Go ahead and close that out. Now let's go back to Start. Right click on Computer, Properties. Go ahead and Computer Name, Change. Click on Domain. All right, here we want to do the fully qualified domain name that we made earlier that we called our server. So let's go ahead and put that in. All right, so we go ahead and press OK. Okay, right now we can go ahead and log in with the administrative account, or you can log in with the username you made earlier. We are part of the domain, so let's go ahead and press OK. Okay, we have to restart. So let's go ahead and restart. All right, once it restarts, you should see something different. It's going to tell you to press Control Alt Delete. So let's go ahead and press Control Alt Delete. We want to go ahead and click on Options. We want to change this to the domain's name. Now let's go ahead and try that user we made earlier. His name was A Brian for the login. And go ahead and put the password you have made for him. All right, we're back in. Let's go ahead and go to start. Right click on computer, go to properties, go to computer name, and you should see this computer name dot the domain name, domain controller. One more test I want to show you. We're gonna go back to the server side. Okay, we're back on the server side, so let's go ahead and close this. Let's go back to start, and let's open that back up. And let's click on computers, and we see that our computer Ask Brian is in there. It even shows you the operating system and everything. You have successfully installed Active Directory. Go ahead and play around with it, do some stuff. I have some tutorials on GPO and other things with servers, so check out my other tutorials. I'm your host, Rashad. Thanks for watching.